Elon Musk wants to buy Twitter. How's he going to do it? Let's talk. Hello humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. Elon Musk wants to buy Twitter because he thinks today's platforms have become our public square, right? And they're not open to everybody. Let's face it, all these platforms lean one way. Me as a capitalist, I have a much harder time expressing a lot of point of views than, for example, a Marxist or a socialist or a communist, right? That's just the way the cookie crumbles, and unfortunately, my taxes are going to pay these fools. I just paid my taxes today. Sorry guys, I'm a little sore. Now his reasons for doing this are altruistic from what I can tell. He says, I think it's just important to the function of democracy, right? And as we well know, there's a lot of censorship in all big tech, and the censorship usually just leans one way, right? And we've seen it over and over again, and it's now to the detriment not only of democracy, but also to the company itself. And let me show you some of the hypocrisy here from the board. Now, believe it or not, these guys are better set up. This is a sweeter deal than being employed in television. Look at this. You get $224,000 for part-time work. Oh yes, these socialist activists, most of them here, really love capitalism, right? They love socialism on the outside, but on the inside, they gotta have their bag, and they're not sharing it with anybody. And they know if Elon gets on here, their asses are fired because of, you know, the board itself over a year makes about $3 million, including the CEO, so they're all getting fired as soon as he gets in because he wants to make it just a more fair, more open place according to him. And look guys, this is complete hypocrisy. These guys, even Jack Dorsey, called them out because they don't really care about the business. They own about 80 shares altogether. So they don't care if the business does well or it doesn't do well. That's on the stockholders. They don't care about that. They only care about that salary, about that money they're going to get. And it doesn't affect them. So if they dilute, for example, the shares to fight Elon Musk, they don't care. They're still getting that check. But the people that are actually the owners of the company will suffer. So their interests are not aligned at all with the people that own the company. Not only that, the way they run the company is killing the platform because it only represents one point of view. And that is always a bad thing, especially in a democracy. And here he explains more clearly his point of view. I could technically afford it, but this deal is not a way to make money. Having a public platform that is trusted and broadly inclusive is extremely important to the future of civilization. I don't care about the economics at all. Now guys, nowadays it's pretty safe to say that people don't trust the news, and that's because the news are profit centers for corporations. They always have an agenda, you know, and it's always going to benefit their corporation. And that corporation may lean to the left and they may lean to the right. But the public doesn't have any trust in them anymore. So they rely a lot more in independent information. And that is not going to change here in the foreseeable future. You know, we do need a platform where we can look at just evidence and make up our own minds. And that is missing in today's society by all standards. You know, it doesn't matter what channel you tune in to watch news. It always leans one way or another depending on who's sponsoring the news. And that's just the truth. If you look at, for example, YouTube, why do you think they took off the dislike button? It's not for, you know, it's not for creators like us that you know, we're going to get our feelings hurt because somebody disliked our video. It's for corporations, because if you mass dislike a product, they won't advertise on YouTube anymore. That's the reason it's out. But they're here in these positions, they have these jobs, and Elon wants to fire them right away. And he wants to open up the platform. Alright, so what are these guys going to do to fight him? Well, they already did the value dilution, so the board sets up rights, for example. And it's a plan that if somebody buys, for example, more than 15% or 15% of Twitter in this case. The measure known as a poison pill strategy allows existing shareholders the right to purchase more shares at a discount. So right away, these shares are worth less. And at that point, they're acting against the interest of the shareholders, because now imagine you're a shareholder and you own 30,000, for example, of Twitter, and that's your retirement money, whatever. Well, now it's going to be worth, 10,000 or whatever, 15,000, by half. It depends how many, they're able to buy. But that's basically what they do. Now, if you do that, then Elon Musk no longer owns 15%, and they'll just dilute it until it takes too much money to buy the company, but you're also hurting your stockholders by devaluating the assets that they have, which are those stocks. That's why it's called a poison pill. But there's other ways he could do it. They just don't have the power to fight Elon. If he really wants to take this over, he doesn't have to buy 15%. He can buy 14.99% and then align himself with 2 or 3 other people that own the same amount. And if they hold the majority of the company, well, that's that. They fire all their asses at once. I don't agree with Jack Dorsey much, but this is one where he has to explain to these soy humans, for example, Steve over here. Look at what he says. Our boy Jack sold Twitter to fiat maximalists. Are y'all starting to understand me? Like, this guy's making a point. It's a publicly traded company. That means it's for sale. It's the essence of the company, but this idiot here doesn't understand. He thinks it's a political movement. So Jack has to explain to him, as a public company, Twitter has always been for sale. That's the real issue. But these people don't understand. They think they're entitled to Twitter, and they are not. Well, guys, I hold the views of Voltaire when it comes to freedom of speech. I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. That's what's attributed to him. Could have been his friend said it about him. I'm not sure off the top of my head. But freedom of speech is very important to me, especially, the freedom of speech of the people that I disagree with. I like to have a discussion back and forth, and that way our opinions can grow. What about you guys? Do you approve of censorship if something or someone hurts your feelings? That's just not me. Well, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.
New videos every Monday and Sunday. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, click that notification bell, and remember, never ever be afraid to be happy. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.